I will tell you a story, which is really very pertinent about this situation. You know, Maru, the brothers are from Afghanistan, Pakistan. You know Khurasan? Khurasan, which is, because in the old history, Khurasan, it means all Iran and all the way to Central Asia. This is all Khurasan. There is a city there by the name Maru. Maru. And the people who refer to them, Al-Murwazi, like the same Al-Baghdadi, you know, Al-Shami. There is a merchant from Maru. He always come to Baghdad, and a Baghdadi merchant, Tajir merchant, he welcomed him and he feed them. And he's from far away and exchange, you know. And this Murwazi guy, he told him, if you are going to come to Maru, you have to come to my house. I have to, at least, to honor you. You honor me every day, whenever I come. And one day this Baghdadi, he said, let me go try it. So he took all the way. There is no Boeing, there is nothing, you know. It took a long time. And then when he arrived there, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. The Murwazi person, he responded to him in a very cold manner. Who are you? I am your guy, the one who really, you come to Baghdad, I was your host. He said, I can't recognize you. He said, probably my imamah, you know, I'm coming to take the imamah. He looked at him, he told him, I cannot recognize you. Are you sure? Let me take my coat, take his coat. That doesn't work. He said, let's take my shurwal. It didn't work. He told me, hey, listen, if you're going to come out of your skin, I'm not going to recognize you. So, if we try to be effective, doesn't mean we have to come out of our skin in order to be accepted. Because there are different people, different faith, different nationality, different things. They are more effective without losing their identity. Do you get it? This is very important. When you see a handful of people being patient, unique, distinct, for 950 years, this is something admirable. People should recognize that this is the role of the Muslim. The people will respect you as a Muslim without changing your color. But there is a common ground among the human. Allah said it. Allah said it. In the Quran, there is a common ground. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. We make you nations and the tribes so you can come to know each other. And when you come to know each other, doesn't mean I have to change my skin color, doesn't mean I have to change my tongues, doesn't mean I have to change my faith, doesn't mean anything, except there is a common ground I can work with the others. So when the Quran, and there is wonderful thing about that. When you say it is a handful, who by the end of the flood, who were the survivor except the people on the ark? Is that right? Nobody survived except the people with Noah, with Nouh. That give us a clear lesson that when the Muslim take his stand and hold the post, hold the fort, and never retreat, and put his head up high, proud of what he believes, ready to cooperate, he will be a saver. Because the new humanity are those people who are with Nouh. There is nobody left. Allah drowned all the others. So the Muslim has to feel that not retreating and withdrawing from his position, there is a great, great benefit coming out of that. That the people will look to him with respect. He will continue marching, and he will never fail at all. Because هذه الفئة الصغيرة المؤمنة يا أيها فيها نجاة البشرية كلها. الذي يثبت على الحق مش ينجو هو بحاله، إنما تنجو الأمم من بعده بسبب ثباته. بسبب ثباته. هذه القضية مهمة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he mentioned that to Nouh, that we are not going to leave you alone, بأعيننا ووحينا, he taught him one thing, to Nouh alayhi salam, that the purpose of the da'wah is not to argue with the others, not to try to defeat them, not to tell them you are this and we are this and that. No, this is not the purpose of the da'wah at all. This is not you are kafir, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are going to go to Jahannam. No, this is not at all. The purpose of the da'wah, we have a message from Allah. It is a clear message. It is the guidance from the one who created the human being. And the only one who can write a prescription for that human being, as I said it in the afternoon. The same way, let me just retreat a little bit. When you go to a doctor, the doctor is capable to write you a prescription because this is his area. When you go to a mechanics, he can really show you, or you buy a car, there is a manual of operation. You buy an equipment, there is always some guidebook with it. So anyone who invented anything, or he is in any field, who is an expert in it, he is the only one who can really give you this guidebook. But when it comes to the human being, there is no human being can write a guidance book for the human being except Allah, because Allah, He is the one who created the human being and He knows them. He knows. So the purpose, we have to represent the da'wah to the people. This is a message, we believe in it. And we believe it will bring you the goodness, and it will put you in peace and the tranquility, and you see the prosperity, and you see the enjoyment of life. If you take it, take it. If you leave it, leave it. Not saying you are kafir, your religion is this. This is not my job. I know it is wrong. I know what they believe it is wrong. But this is not the way to deliver the message to them. This is wrong. This is the reason the Quran says don't ever, with Nouh, he said don't argue with them. Because the process is not argument. The process is to approach them which is really, I bring you another story from the past. Similar a little bit. There is one, which we have a lot of the people here, which is really driving me crazy. When I say here, I mean in this country. I live in Seattle. And after 9/11, and the very the tense environment. All of you live it. There is no need to. The Council of Churches in Seattle, listen to that. The Council of Churches in Seattle decided to make a task force from volunteers to come and guard the main mosques in Seattle. 24 hours round the clock. Every 2 hours, 4 people comes and people, as if they make a schedule, honestly. They come with their cookies and with their coffees. They didn't ask us. They didn't enter the mosque. They really spread themselves around the parking lot and the area where it might be there is some threat. And one of them decided to bring a bouquet of flowers, bring it to the masjid. And one of the brothers, which all the time he has nothing else to do except sit somewhere. The moment she comes, through the door, he jumped as if the Shaitan al-Rajim entered the masjid. You, this, get out, 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 get out. I told him, you get out. No, she get out. Oh, what's wrong? No, this is kafir. She cannot enter the masjid. The kafir entered the masjid of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What you are talking? When you have this typical kind, this naive mentality, which is retarded, thank you so much for your flower. And one of the neighbors of the masjid, they broke a pot of soup, thinking that the people at the masjid are hungry because nobody. I didn't change my faith. She didn't change her faith. She didn't influence me in the sense of effect, but influenced me that she has an attitude. She has some respect. She thinks that we are all equal in humanity, and then and these are Islamic values. There is nothing wrong with it. And then we end up, honor the lady, give her a certificate, welcome her, because one guy decided, of course his beard is longer than my beard. That's fine, it doesn't make any difference. I don't judge the people by the length of their beard. But I judge the people by their attitude, my dear brothers and sisters. When I hear that we have to cooperate, yes, we get involved. We should move. We should invite people. Let them know, because we are messengers to the others. And tell me in the name of God. This is part of the story of Nouh. We are messengers to the others. Tell me in the name of Allah. Did you find any messengers comes to you with his shoes in his hand and try to hit you? No. You come to the people with a message in a very peaceful manner. I know there is fanatic people. I know there is hate. I know there is prejudice. All these exist. I cannot. It is part of the human life. But in order to conquer it, in order to attack it, I have to represent the unique of the Muslim character. The Quran said, تعالوا يا أهل الكتاب تمام إلى كلمة سواء. All the people of the book come to a common ground that we worship one God. The Quran itself said that. The Quran doesn't know that they are really deviated. The Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no knowledge that they messed up the revelation of it is, but the instruction in the Quran, he's telling us, you have to deliver it to the people, because by that you will save yourself and you will save the others. I remember one brother, he said, Akhi, don't get discouraged by the people. You have the seed in your hand. Put it on the ground. It might give a fruit years from now. Which means, when you talk to the people, they listen. And if Allah will to open their heart, your message will come to their heart. And they will come to you. But when you tell them you are this and you are that, you are building a very huge wall between the message of Allah and them. And this is not what the purpose of that. So, Akhi, let me just conclude. When we look to the story of Nouh, there is a great trial. And the Muslim is going to be tried. This is the fact of life. When I grew up, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is a great blessing from Him. Put me with a group, since I was young, with a very righteous group, very, very decent group. And then one of them, he told me, Brother AbdelRahim, if you find your way in life paved with roses, then there is something wrong. You don't have the road always rosy and paved and decorated. You have some of it, but there is a choppy and unpaved, snow, wind, everything. So the trial is a part of life, actually. And the people has to really understand the dimension of it, so they will not be frustrated and give up. It is a trial to be patient. To be patient is not easy. To be honest with you, to be a patient person is not easy at all. But when you look to the story of Nouh alayhi salam, there is a great amount of being patient. Patient about the mocking of the people, the rejection of the people, the hate of the people, the difficulties facing you, and it's also patient. It is a trial being thankful, I think. Sometimes when the world is really open to you, you don't know how to be thankful. And what is a big trial? You have to be very, very, because those people who Allah saved them to be the beginning of the new humanity, their thanks should be represented or manifested in an actual action, not a mere word. So being thankful, Akhi, as one of the scholars say, being thankful is the practical aspect of the concept of worship. اعملوا على داود شكرا وقليل من عبادي الشكور. The shukr is not a mere word tongue. The shukr should be manifested into a real action. It is also a trial Because we live now, my dear, in so many times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a wisdom, akhi, for things going on. I was talking to one of the brothers, and I don't know, today or a couple of days ago. He was a little bit, not you, he was a little bit frustrated for how long these things is going to be. Nobody knows, to be honest, except Allah. I mean, all these, we feel bad, we feel sad, but we should be motivated to move in order to rectify or correct or do something to help. But Allah will it this way. The Prophet ﷺ sat in Mecca for 13 years. For 13 years. Until the moment came when Allah ordered him to move. So the plan of Allah is completely different from the plan of the human being. Completely different. Because we look to something very touchable. We try 1 plus 1 = 2. That's correct, mathematically correct. But sometimes 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2. Even though I am a mathematician and engineer, probably I can prove it to you, 1 plus 1. In so many cases it doesn't equal 2. But the fact behind it is not whatever you put, the outcome should be according to what you plan. You see what I mean? So that one, Allah purified people. When I looked to that, I was talking to the brother there and brother Majdi. It reached sometimes, you know, when you have a muddy cup, it takes times until the mud settles down and you can see the clear water out. It takes time. It doesn't be like this. And when you have bad and good, it will take time through this struggle and this interaction that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bring forth to the surface. As I gave some example before, when you go in the flooding, when you see the flood, and we are approaching the flood season really, I believe. It is this month and the next month. When you see the rivers really reaching up, you don't see the clear water. You see foam and debris and woods and all junk. But when Allah decided to receive the water, you will see all that set aside and the clear water is there. And the struggle with the human being is the same. That's happened, so all those bad among the humanity will come to the surface like the foam and the debris, and Allah will decide to set them aside. The last lesson really, in order to be effective in life, you have to be experienced, you have the proper tools, you have the proper knowledge, you have to maintain a certain qualification, and you know, this is very important, you have to know that the circumstances can be changed, the different variable in the circumstances you are facing can be changed every single day, so your preparedness should be equivalent to these changes. And sometimes I see some Muslims, really they think, okay, Bismillah. Yes, we say Bismillah. But do you have the proper tools? Do you have the proper people? Do you have the qualified people? Do you have the experienced people? Do you have the resources available to you? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have that? Yes, if you have that, then say Bismillah. Otherwise, it is very difficult to run your life and die, to run in this life randomly, thinking things is going to happen the way, whatever way it happen or the way you like it. It needs people really utilize all the resources. You see one, I said, sorry, which is very beautiful. Imagine yourself, if you are swimming in the water or you are in the ship. What is the difference between the two? You are in control.
You are struggling.
Yeah, this one is, and you are in control. Then you, as a Muslim, when I say have all these qualifications, you should be the one who guide the ship. It is not the one who swim against the current. It is not the one who try to